Hi guys, so welcome to my channel. I am your friend Amudan Shaktivel. Today we'll see an interesting topic about extent reports. Extent reports have released their latest version, it's extent reports 5, and today we'll see how we can create a simple report with using that, and we also see how we can do integration with uh, test engine frameworks or your Selenium, Appium, and REST assured test. So before doing all those things, let's just go to their website and see how their reports looking like. Okay, so this is their official website, guys. So if you go to their official website like this, okay, this is their official website. Okay, and here if you notice, there is a docs section. They have a really good documentation, and then they have a really good features developed now. So go to this version 5, and I'm going to use Java, so I'm going there. And there are a lot of reporters available, but these two are pro versions. So I'm going to speak, we're going to discuss more towards this Spark reporters. So just go there. And if you also notice, so they have given a clear documentation on how to generate these reports. Yeah, we'll see how we can use these things. And before doing all those things, let's just quickly open the sample report that they have given. So if you don't know what we are going to achieve, it is really hard to imagine and follow my lecture. So we'll see how we can how we are going to develop this particular report they have given here. Okay, if you notice, this is looking really cool, right? So this is the dashboard which can consist of different tests, the whatever the things that you are seeing here: screen capture, log levels, code block. These are all individual tests. Okay, it can be, you can replace it with any other test case, from your regression or smoke suite. Okay, and you also have the capability to attach your screenshots, and your screenshot will look like this. Okay, it can be anything. And if you also see at the left side, okay, you also have a lot of cool things. Okay, you have a bug stack. Previously, in previous versions, it was not there. So they have now introduced this to only filter out the exceptions, right? And they also introduced this particular menu bar, so where you can filter and see only the particular tags. So if you have a smoke suite, if you have a test case that belongs to smoke suite and regression suite, you want to differentiate them, you can use this particular tab to differentiate them. And you also have additional tab called a device, which will be really helpful if you are doing any browser compatibility testing for your Selenium test, or your devices compatibility testing for your Appium test. So we'll see that how this will be really useful for us. It will give us a very cool report, and we can easily understand which test case is failing in which particular device. Okay, so we'll see that anyways. And we also have a new tab called author, which will tell us who have created this test case, right? So if you're having 500 test case, and people like 10 people, 10 automation engineers were working on the whole regression suite, it is always really hard to find out who has created this particular test case. So with the help of this, we can easily understand who has created this, so that if some particular test case fails, we can directly assign to them and ask them to fix that. And this is really the important thing that they have developed. So their cool dashboard, like always, they have their the start date, end date, the number of tests passed, the number of tests failed. They have a cool diagrammatic representation of your pass and fail test case. And the steps will give you the details about the steps, individual steps, right? And also, if you notice, this author, the tags, and the device that we see here, right, the tags, devices, and authors, it's also present here, right? So the author, like say Amudan has developed 10 test case, so all of them got passed. So okay, see, he's developing some good quality code, so something like that. Okay, and the tech and the tags, okay, we can name a test like login page test, or we can page like name like home page test, so that we can understand which particular feature of the application is breaking. Okay, based on this pass fail percentage. Okay, the same way, if you're running your test on different browsers, say Chrome 83, Chrome 84, Chrome 85. Suppose in your report, Chrome 83 has a pass percentage of only 30. That means your application is behaving erratically in this particular Chrome version, and there needs to be a retrospective, with your dev to fix that issues. Okay, So these are all the things that we need to keep in mind. So this is the dashboard that we are going to create. And if you go here, you will also have, you can switch the theme. So this is a standard theme. If you press L, in your keyboard, you can also have a dot theme. Okay, this how our report going to look like. And you also have the option to search. Suppose I am searching for screen capture, so I can easily search here. You can also do that. And you can also filter only the past test, fail test, or if you have applied some past filter, if you want to clear it, you can clear it. Also, there is a shortcut. If you press P, it will only filter pass. If you press F, it will only filter the fail test case. And C will clear all the things, right? So this way, you can apply, use some shortcuts to navigate and play with your dashboard. Suppose this will be really helpful if you're having number of tests, like 100 tests in your external report, right? So this will be really helpful for us. So this is the end report that we are going to see. And let's get integrated with our Java code. Okay, so to do that, so let me go to the let me just go to the extend report Maven dependency. Okay, so in the Google, and just go here, the relevant codes. Okay, I think they have moved this. Let's go here. Okay, if you notice, this is the latest version, so 5.0.x. So they have released some 5 versions now. So I am going for the latest version that they have created now. Just copy this. Okay, this will be really useful for us. So this dependency information, if you're using just a plain Java project, you can download this jar and attach, add to your build path. But now in this project, we are going to use Maven. So I have copied their dependency. Okay, here, just go here, create a Maven project. Okay, just click on this checkbox. We are going to create a simple skeleton, not gonna complicate stuff. So let me put it as report, maybe extend report. Okay, demo, something like this. Yeah, and click on finish. So it will take a few seconds for your test to get built. It's okay, you can wait. And just go to the pom.xml, and then go to the section here, and then add this particular dependencies. Again, you need to create a dependencies tag, and then inside that you can place the dependency. So with this, I'm pressing Control A and Control I for the alignment, and then just saving the file, so that the jar files will be automatically downloaded from the Maven central repository. So it'll go and hit this repository and fetch the jar files. And if you notice, this external reports have added few other transitive dependencies which it needs. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. So all we want to know is we have added this external reports so that we can work with our project. Okay, so let me close this. We don't need this anymore. Now let me go here, src test java, and let me create a very simple package. So let me give it as extend. Okay, com dot extend reports, maybe something like this, test. Okay, let me create a simple package, and let me create a class called extend reports 5, right? So let me create a class like this. Okay, and if you also notice, we can use public static void main or Java project, or we can also use test-ng jars. So for now, simplicity purpose, I'm just copying it from another project. Okay, the test-ng dependency. So let me also copy test-ng dependency. Okay, just copy this and go to your form.xml. Okay, and I add this particular dependency as well, so that we can work with test engine. Okay, that's okay. So once this is done, you can go ahead and create your public void extend test. Let me name it as extend test for now, simple thing. So just hover your mouse over here, and you can add test engine library, and then you can also import uh, your test engine annotations. Okay, don't import it from Java JUnit, guys. So import it from test engine. Good. So now we have created a simple test case in TestNG. Now we're going to see how we can, uh, how we are going to create the report. So let's go here. I'm gonna teach how we can create it from their own website. So they have given very clear documentation. If you notice, this is the first set of lines that we need to add to our report. Okay, just copy this and paste it here. And if you notice, you just hover your mouse over here, and then they are telling import this particular class from this particular package. So this package is coming from the jar file that we have added. So just import this. And we also want to create external Spark reporter that's also coming from this particular package. That's okay, we are importing that as well. So let me explain this particular set of lines. What they are doing is they are creating an object for this extend reports, okay, and they're also creating an object for this extend Spark report class, okay. And this is the path where your you know HTML file will be generated. Okay, you can change this to anything you want. So in my case, I want to change it to just index.html, which means this particular the report will be generated, okay, inside my project folder, under the root directory. Okay, so this should create a index.html file at the end. Okay, so this will be very important, guys. So you just need to give the path where you want your reports to be generated. Again, if you are having, so see, this Spark reporter is a kind of reporter. They also have other kind of reporters like Kalo, their event and email stack. So if you want to add multiple reporters, okay, you can also add them like this. But for now, our use case is just we want to log it only to the Spark reporter. So we have just attached it to the uh, attach this Spark object to this particular method. Okay, so once you do that, external reports will get the knowledge of where it needs to log its event. Okay, so now let's go here again, and then they have given some other code. Okay, so either you can use this particular code or you can use this. So since this looks very simple, I'll just copy this. You can also use this, it doesn't matter. Okay, I'll paste it here. Okay, so if you notice, we have already assigned this, so we don't need this anymore. We have already created this. Okay, we don't need this anymore. Control is, sorry, I think we need to remove it from here. And this Spark, okay, uh, you know I am also setting the theme. So there are certain configurations that we want to do. Suppose I want to open my report with the dot theme by default. Otherwise it will open by default in a standard theme. Okay, but I want to now alter this, so I am just using dark. Also, if you notice, we can also give the title for the report as my report, or we can also change it automation report. Okay, it depends on whatever you want to achieve. They also have other configuration. If you want to change, you can just go here. Okay, and then check for whatever the options that are available. So if you want to get the reporter, you want to get the theme, what is there. If you also type set, you can also see what and all things they can do. So okay, so if you want to change the document title, we have already changed that. I also want to change the report name. So this is extend reports demo. So if you want to change any other things, you can also do that. So this is the initial set of configurations that you need to do before creating your first test case. Now let's go here, and then let's get started with creating our first test. Okay. Let me go to the report again, once again, and if you go to the sample, so we now have to create a test node in the report. When I mean test node, whatever you're seeing here, these are all the test nodes. Okay, when I speak test nodes, you're going to create a node for your test case. And when I speak about steps, so this is all the steps for this particular test case. Suppose you are logging into your website, and then you are navigating across different pages. You want to log them on all in your reports, then you can do this, right? So these are all the steps node, and these are all the test nodes. Okay, so please keep this in your mind, and then we can go to the we can go and start creating our first test. So to create our first test, just type extend dot create test. Okay, so this create test is accepting a string, the name of the test case. Okay, name of my test case is login test, for example. Okay, I don't have any reports. I'm not going to integrate with any Selenium Appium code now. We're just going to create a very simple reports without anything. Okay. I'm going to create a first test called login test. And if you notice the return type, okay, will be of extend test. Okay. So if you don't know what it will be this return type, so you can simply type string A. Okay, then it will tell, hey, change the type of A to extend test, because whatever the line of code that you've written on the right hand side, it's going to give you the type of extend test. Okay, just change it. So since A is not more meaningful, so I just change it to extend test. Okay, again ignore this. This might be some bug with your, so just close it and open it. So now the errors are gone. Okay, now I want to log whatever the events I want to log inside my login test case. So let's assume I want to log, so pass first I want to log. Okay, I want to pass a string value, that's say my test login test. Okay, started successfully. I want to do this. Good. Next step, I want to tell, okay, after my browser getting open, I want to tell again, there are a lot of overloaded method here, guys. So if you want to pass a string, use this. If you want to pass a string and a screenshot, you can use this. If you want to pass a throwable object, you can use this. So for now we are passing very simple text, so we are using that. And here, if you notice, login test started successfully. Okay, URL is loaded. These are all just simple assumptions, guys. So test dot pass. Okay, and then I can tell um, value entered, something like that. Okay, and then at the end I also want to tell pass. Okay, my test get ended login test completed successfully. Okay, so now we have created a very simple test node. Okay, this will create a test node, guys. So create a test node in the report. Okay, and this all these things inside that will create a test node. Create a test step node in the report. Okay, there is not only pass option, you also have a lot of other options. Okay, so tested, suppose if you want to fail something, you can use fail. Okay, these are also accept the same overloaded uh, 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 parameters. So you can also do that. If you want to do just info, you don't want to mark it as a pass, you just want to do an info, you can do that. If you also want to mark it as a skip, you can also use skip. So whatever the logger methods that we see in our test ng or JUnit will be there. So one important addition in this extend reports 5 is that they have actually removed, okay, debug, fatal, I think error. These three methods they have removed in accordance, to match with the JUnit or TestNG frameworks, because they have removed it in their latest version. So so these guys also removed. So if you're trying to search for fatal, you won't see that method now. Previous versions you will see that, but now they have removed it. Okay, so what I can do, instead of this info, I can just put info here. Okay, just for our reference. Now we have created one particular test case. Okay, now for the second test case, we also have one more test case. So what I want to do, I just need to copy this whole thing, paste it here. Okay, give a different name. Okay, this is say home page test. Okay, something like that. And I can change home page test started successfully, URL is loaded, values entered, and then home page test. Okay, maybe I'll put a different thing here. What I can tell, home page test failed. Again, it cannot fail successfully, that name it as miserable. Okay, it has failed miserably. Good. Now we have two test nodes. Everything is fine. So we have started the report, initialized the report. We have created two test cases in the report. And as a last step, okay, we want to do extend dot flush. This is very, very important, guys. Unless you do this, unless you call this method, your report will not be written with all the logs that you're in. Okay, so please call this method in your after suite or your after class, so that you get tend to see all your logs in the reports. Okay, so this is our initialization. We have created the first test node, we have created the second test case, we have voluntarily made it fail so that we can see that in the report. We also flushing the report so that we can see the report. So let's try to run as test ng test. Suppose if you are if I assume you have your TestNG plugin in Eclipse. Otherwise, you will not see this option. Please add that TestNG, plugin to your Eclipse to see this option. Okay, just run as TestNG test. So again, see if it's completed pretty fast. It has completed within very few seconds. So let me go and refresh this particular folder. And if you notice, there is the index.html here. This is the name that we have given to this report. Again, guys, you can give whatever the name you want, automation report.html. But if you notice, all the good developers will use index as a name for it's just a convention, guys, to name your reports as index. Even if you go to your test ng reports, you'll have index.html. Okay, it's just a convention. It is understood. If you use a naming convention like index.html, it's gonna be predominantly your test reports. Okay, so this is the default test report that's coming from testng. You're not bothered about that. We want to open our test. So let me open with my Chrome. Okay, so we have created a very cool report now, guys. So but the problem is, login test started successfully, URL is loaded, value entered. Again, the home page test also is getting logged here. Did we do something wrong? So if you notice, our home page test is completely empty. Let's go back and understood. See, we have created the test object for this particular class, and we are logging everything inside that. So we need to log these statements inside like this. So we need to use the test one, that is for our home page test. Then only under the home page text, these particular logs will be logged. Otherwise, it will be logged here. And there is one more addition that they have done. Previously, you also need to end your test after your test case. And now there is no need to end, guys. They thought it is not needed, so they have removed it. So we need to just start our test, write all the logs, create a new test. It will automatically end the previous test. Okay, now we have made the changes. Let's again run the test. Again, it got passed. Let me go back to my and then just refresh the page. See, now your login test started successfully, URL is loaded, values entered, login test completed successfully. If you notice, this log statements that we have written, it's pass info pass, and it's pass info pass. Okay, your home page test is also having pass info fail. So your home page test failed miserably. Good. Now also, if we go and see our dashboard, this is really cool, right? So you have your start date, end date, the number of tests that ran, and number of got failed. So I think the pass is one, fail is one, so the total is two. So that's what we are also seeing in the dashboard here. And if you notice, this is the log events. So how many steps you have passed is 3 steps, info is 4 steps, fail is 1. So it's also getting logged here successfully. This is the timeline that it took to run your whole test. Okay, so suppose you have 2 tests, but it's not displayed properly because our test ran for a very small period of time. When we get into our Selenium integration with the external report, we can easily see this timeline gives us a clear idea how how much time each test case took. Okay, if I want to change the theme, I just press L in my keyboard, so the theme will be changed to a standard theme. And if you also notice the title of the tab, if you notice, guys, the title of the tab is automation report here. And this is what we have mentioned here. Okay, automation report is the title that we mentioned. That's a tag name. Set report name as external reports demo. And if you notice here in the right hand side, the external reports demo, this is that report name that we have configure. So you can do all these things with the help of three simple lines. You can configure all those things. Yeah, good. So we have done everything, to create a very simple extend reports. Now I also taught, told you about devices, authors and other stuff, but those things were not here because we haven't configured. Suppose, say my first test case is login test, and I just want to assign an author to this. So assign author. Who has created this test case? It's Amudan. Okay. And also I also assign, I want to assign a category, so it belongs to smoke test. Also this particular test is important, so it's also belongs to regression. So you can do that. And then it ran on, so assign device. Okay, it ran on, say, browser, Chrome 84 version. Okay, so I can do all these things. Once you do this, you can see the logs getting updated. Again, the home page test, let me assign into the category of only regression. This is not as important as my login test, so I'll just assign it to regression. And I'll assign, I think this test was created by two guys called Sachin, uh, and one more guy also created this test. So I'll he's draw with me, and there is assigning device. It ran on Firefox some version. Okay, Firefox 60 some version. Okay, so we can do all these things. Now if I again run this report, we'll see the magic that will have a new tabular column in our table. So let me go there again. See, we don't have any tabs in our left side. Now we'll get new tabs. Okay, again I refresh this. Now we have an option. See, smoke test, we have only one test, and that is got passed. Regression, we have two. One got passed, one got failed, and these are all the details. Again, if you click this, it will take you to the this particular dashboard. Let me switch to standard theme so that we can view it better. So let me go to the, the device tab and see Firefox 60 has only one particular test, and that also got failed. In Chrome 84 we have only one test, and that got passed. In author side, we have Sachin Amudan Dravid created this test, and Sachin Dravid test got failed, Amudan test got failed. So this is the total numbers, this is the passed and failed numbers. And if you also notice, we have a very cool report that can tell who how it, you know who has created a quality test. Okay, and then my smoke test is 100% success, but there is a problem with my regression. Okay, my Chrome, my application is working fine in my Chrome, but in Firefox it's having some problem. Okay, something like this. Now if you notice, the test one, it took this much seconds, like 0.065, like 65 milliseconds, and this took almost 2 milliseconds. Again, this timeline will be really helpful if you run a longer test, but for now you don't really get something out of it. Maybe after integrating with Selenium we can see these details. And let me also switch to the test tab. You also can see, even the test case level, you can see who has developed such in Rabbit, and it belongs to regression Firefox 60. You can get all these details, guys. So when it started, when it ended, everything is getting logged. So this is something really cool, right? And if you also notice, they have given some anchors at the end. Suppose if there are 1,000 tests, I want to, navigate to some 100th test, you can just change the endpoint. So I just change it to 2 and then press on 2, so it will change it to homepage test, because this homepage test is having test id as 2. Okay, if you want to go to login page test from this, I can just change the endpoint to like this. Okay, if there are 100 tests or 1,000 tests, this will be really helpful. But for now, since there are only two tests, it might not be, that helpful. Good. I hope you all have learned something today. If you like the videos, please subscribe to my channel, guys. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye.